Oh, never mind.
Hello. We're live.
Okay, we're live. Hey guys, welcome to OkraTalks. We are back. We always promise that we're gonna be consistent, but we don't.
No
Uh,
consistency.
but we have changed the layout today. Today we're gonna be talking about thing. We're gonna talk about the highlights, and we're gonna talk about the things we want to discuss beforehand, so that it's our podcast is more structured. So let's go. So today we'll be talking about things. Today we'll be talking about Inter Miami winning their first MLS Cup in the history, uh, thanks to Messi and his boys. Alba and Busi retiring from football. What a career they had!
Boosie is crazy.
Hey, it's my boys. It's my boys. I have the Inter Miami kid dropped on. So Arsenal and Chelsea keep on dropping the points. Is there the regular December slump? You never know. Liverpool keep Liverpool keep dropping points, and I still see some hair on Sassu's head. So we're gonna talk about that.
Hey man.
The Liverpool section is gonna be like more than half the pod today, bro.
Yeah, talking about Liverpool, let's talk about Salah. Is his crash out valid, or he's taking the big L?
Stay tuned. Stay tuned for the answers.
Talking about more about crash outs. We're gonna talk about Madrid and what's happening with them not winning points in like 6 games, not getting all 3 points in 6 games, and the red cards and a fallout after that. And if we get a chance, no promises, we're gonna talk about World Cup group stage drops and what we're gonna think about it. We're gonna do more bigger episode on that, and we're gonna do the draws. But yeah, those are the things we're gonna talk. And if you feel like we're going off the topic, if you wanna go off the topic, feel free to
Yeah.
do so. So let's start the
Cool.
pod.
Cool. Let's start it. Let's start with the win, the Inter Miami win. Um
No, let's
yeah,
start. Let's start with you. You just came
damn,
back.
bro.
You just came back. This was supposed. This
I
was
tried.
supposed to be
I
your.
tried.
This was supposed to be your happy return home. But did you watch any games live when you were abroad,
Yeah.
Europe?
Yeah. I watched what did I watch? I watched the City game. I think that was before I left. But I watched the City game. I watched I think I watched all of them, every single one, and man, it was disappointing. The City game, I was like, you know what, makes sense. Whatever.
It's
Sometimes we lose to City, that's fine. Then well, I gotta pull up like the order of which we lost because
there are
it's
so
just
many.
L after L after L.
So
So
you watched that game at the stadium,
No, 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 no. I watched it. I meant like at a pub or something. I just
just
watched the
live,
whole
yeah,
just like the whole game.
yeah.
Um.
So give the viewers some context on where you were. I know I was
Oh,
here this episode, so
yeah. So I was another reason we didn't have a pod for a while is I was away in Europe, like in London, Porto, and Budapest. Funny story about Budapest. I'm just gonna drop it now. I was there one day before the crazy loss. Um, I almost went to that game, but I'm so happy I didn't because that would have sucked. Um, but yeah, and then yeah, I was abroad for a bit, and then wasn't sure if I could catch all the games, but was able to, unfortunately, watch all the games. Um, and yeah, so yeah, City lost, or we lost to City 3-0. I watched that game in a pub, and I was like, great, like first game watched like I'm watching in England. It's a Liverpool loss, but I was like, whatever, it's City. I can live with that. Then international break, which was great because didn't have to watch or be stressed about Liverpool for a while. And then actually the day before I came back, this game I didn't watch all of the Nottingham Forest game, and I'm so happy I didn't because we got hammered at Anfield by Nottingham Forest, who were not doing that great. Yeah, that was just that was the point where I was like, all right, maybe it's slot out. Then we go to PSV Eindhoven. This should be
Hot
my boy
take.
Slot's home. Like he should know how to deal with these guys. At Anfield, this dude got embarrassed by PSV Eindhoven. Like this makes no sense. He won the league with Feyenoord against these guys, but can't deal with them with our Liverpool squad at Anfield. And we got battered 4-1. After that, I was like, you know what? No, slot out. Like
So
you
is
can't
it,
be you
is it
can't be
Sl-
losing.
is it Slot or is it Van Dijk or Konate together?
It's slot. It's slot. 100%. Yes, they've had their mistakes, but those mistakes are not the reason we're losing all these games. Like, all right, a few goals could be written off to a few mistakes. Yes, like Konate did have some stinkers, but like the tactics that he's playing are like clearly not working because like we've lost some games without scoring at all, which is insane to think about because we like I understand our defensive frailties because we did not really like we don't really have replacement for Van Dijk or Konate at the moment. They've been playing together like pretty much all our games, no matter how good or bad they're playing. So I understand defensively. What I don't understand is going forward, not being able to score. Because if you look at like, let's see, going back as far as the Crystal Palace game, they beat us 3-0. We didn't score. We beat Aston Villa. I don't know what that is. Maybe luck. Beat Madrid 1-0. I'm gonna also I'll write that off to actually Madrid being asked. We'll cover that later. Didn't score
Hey,
against City.
people were saying Liverpool is back after beating Madrid.
I thought so, but then we ended up not scoring. Like we scored one against PSV Eindhoven, and then beat West Ham, which I mean it's West Ham. And then recently drew to Sunderland and Leeds, which I mean, yeah, which so Sunderland Leeds he changed the tactics. He finally changed tactics. And so we finally scored and didn't lose like 3-0. So I don't know. I think personally I think we should get rid of Slot. Because yeah, it doesn't make sense. Like you can't be he had Chiesa available to him, and Chiesa has the most assists and goals per minute returns this whole season. Like he's insanely effective, but he doesn't play him. Instead, he plays Gakpo, who thinks he thinks he's Robin, but without that and like he keeps cutting in. His only thing is cut in on my right and shoot, but he only scores like one every like 100 of those. So I'm done with Gakpo. He should be playing Chiesa there instead. Salah, he hasn't been playing well. I guess we can move to that now.
Before
Yeah.
before we move to Salah really quick, because also just mic check. Sound good?
Yeah,
Yep.
you're
All right.
good.
All right, good stuff. Yeah, before we move to Salah, I just want to mention like it's what beginning of December, and like just all I want to say is life comes at you fast, viewers, folks. Is like August when the season started was like what? It's the 8th month, so it's not even 4 months in, and Brett, and now it's been Slot, been Gakpo, been everybody. Hey, like, but hey, I mean, yeah, we'll come back. I want to come back to your feelings on Slot as a whole and the new transfers, the new signings you guys made as well. But yeah, I guess before that we can move on to the Salah situation.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Saswat said Slot out. So who you bringing in? Because in my opinion, I think Javi doesn't have much time in Madrid as well. Looking at their team and looking how they've been playing and talk. I don't know for sure, but I have heard the rumors that Mbappe and Vini is not happy with them. So I think in Madrid right now, whatever Mbappe says, it goes like that. So hey, maybe slot out Xavi in
I
because
would
you
take
get
it. I would take it. You know why? Because Slot doesn't play to like. So he bought, or let's not say he, but Liverpool bought Isak, Wirtz, Ekitike. Those are like the three main players we bought for our attack. he's not playing a system that benefits any of them, which makes zero sense to me. Like maybe the only one you can argue is Ekatike because he's been scoring, but I think that's mainly because he's doing well. Like it's
But
him as a player.
in his defense, Isaac hasn't been playing well and he's injured. And Words, you haven't seen any productivity whatsoever. So there is no point. There is no way he gonna make a system that benefits Words.
I think he should though, like because that's the problem. Like he hasn't made a system where Wirtz can shine, so
Okay.
therefore Wirtz is stuck doing defensive stuff or like playing in a place that he's not supposed like used to.
No,
Like he's been playing on the right side
in my
recently.
mind, right? If a club pays you
Yeah,
a world class money, and that means you are a world class player, and the world class
that's true.
player signs no matter what system it is, like one way or another, they sign out. Just how Jude Bellingham did in a Madrid with Carlo, just how any other World Cup player does, right? So I don't think like in as a when you think about that perspective, I don't think Slot has to adjust to Words, and it has to be other way around.
Hmm,
That's what I'm trying to say.
that's fair.
Because
Yeah.
there are like what 25 players with different personality within a team.
Yeah, but my thing is like, even without playing to his strengths, we're doing ass. So why doesn't he just play to his strengths, and then maybe we won't do ass? You know?
Yeah, I think so. At the end of the day, before he even signed, I feel like we all knew Verts was a little overpriced. Obviously, like you can only tell after the player signs for the club, but when you look at Verts, he's going to be a player that's good. And I still think eventually he will be a good player for Liverpool as long as either a different manager comes in and uses him how he should be used, or Slot changes the system, whatever it may be. I do think he's going to be good for Liverpool. That price tag, he didn't ask to go for that. That price should always be spent, like Obi said, like I totally agree. It should be spent on clear world-class players that thrive in any system.
Mhm.
There's a thing called like a generalist player, which like they thrive in any context, any situation. That you're going to get a good performance from them, right? And not like most players in the world aren't that kind of player. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
you pay that kind of money for real game changers like Salah, for example,
Hmm.
that kind of player. Even though, right, obviously right now. But for example, even Salah, right? Even a player as good as him, like when the ball isn't going to him, like you can't do anything. Like it's an 11-man game. Like you do need some form of support right now. And I think like, so this is one thing I really wanted to ask you. I'll try to keep it short, but so based on how Liverpool and their recruitment works, like we know you guys have some of the best recruitment. Michael Edwards and all them, some of the signings you made. To your understanding, because obviously we'll never know the truth about what goes on in board meetings, stuff in the locker room, whatever. But to your understanding, like for all the players that you brought in, like who did Slot want? Like who was a Slot signing, and who was kind of just like whatever the recruitment team's going for them, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, let me start with this. Looking back, in the moment of the transfers, I was excited. I was like, wow, this is amazing. Like Liverpool, I don't think maybe once or twice, but has most of the time never done this, like throughout their history. Looking back, I saw recently like a tweet from actually a United fan, and it said like United do not thrive by signing project players, and Liverpool do not thrive by signing big players. It should be swapped, was what he was saying. And looking back now, I'm like, maybe that's the case. And to speak to that point, the problem with I don't think at this point I don't think any of them were slot players. Like I can't think of a single person because look, he doesn't play Kirk as how he's supposed to be played. Like at Bournemouth, he was amazing. He was he was bombing up and down the field as a proper fullback. Right now, he's playing him inverted, which makes zero sense. because he's not good at like playing at that position. So that I think maybe the recruitment team didn't really like ask Slot. I think they were just like, "Yo, let me just get these players in."
We had an episode on OkraTalks, and we came to a conclusion that no single particular player is a manager signing. It's just like they say like, hey, I need a player with this profile, and then board goes in, the board members goes in, they identify a player, and they gives you option 1, 2, and 3, and then whatever then they negotiate. Sometimes money doesn't work out, sometimes it does, and then player comes in. So in a sense, every player that you
Yeah,
guys have
that's true.
signed, it's a profile. It doesn't come to an individual player, it comes to a profile.
But I'm just confused because like I feel like none of these players are what Slot wanted because he's not using any of them to like their strengths, which I'm
This
so
is
confused about.
this is where like the whole thing comes, where it's like too many ingredients ruin the dish, because when you go and get profiles, right? Like you can't just, and once again, I'm not trying to accuse Slot or the board, but you can't, when you build a team, let's say you build a squad, you can't just go and be like, I want my left back to do this, and I want my striker to do
Yeah, that's
this,
true.
and I want my 10 to do this, and I want my, like, because let's say this is what Slot did. Let's just pretend Slot said this is what I want all my players to do, and then the board went and got players, and let's just also pretend that they delivered entirely, 100%, everything he asked for. They got a player that had this type of profile that he wanted for each position. You also have to think about how those positions interact with each other. Is it smart to have a player of this left back profile and this 10 of this, whatever it may be?
Yeah.
So, because I think it's like,
At the end of the day, it's a checks and balance.
Exactly. Because I mean, I don't remember if we did official predictions before the season started, but I had you guys as champions again with my criticisms.
I think we all did.
Yeah, I think we all did. Yeah. So, with poor ball knowledge, whatever it may be. But one thing I do remember is like the signings were obvious, but also not obvious that they would or wouldn't do well. Because I remember like, I was like, when because you guys got Frimpong before Kirkez, right? Or was it?
Yeah, I think Frimpong first and then Kirkez.
So when at that point, when you just have Frimpong, I'm like, okay, you're trying to replace Trent as much as possible because, Trent obviously is super attacking wingback. We know how great he was. And even from there, you can tell, okay, because you're not going to – replacing Trent is not easy, bro. Like, he's like a unique generational player. You can't just go and be like, oh, that's the next Trent. You went out, you bought a fullback who goes up and down the pitch attacking. I was like, okay, I understand. It makes sense. Because at the end of the day, another reason I think that Salah isn't doing as well this season, on top of all the personal stuff and Jota and everything that's going on, is like there's no one in the team to progress the ball to him as much. And now you have so many ball-dominant players on the left and the front line. And Frimpong is like an overlapping, attacking, crossing type player. Like he's not really like – Trent is a pass-first player at the end of the day, right? So you tried to replicate the profile in someone attacking someone to make overlaps and support Salah, but not in the ways that he needs to be supported, I guess. And then you guys went and got Kirkez. Amazing Premier League proven player. And I think the way he's being used, it underrates his defensive ability. Because a lot of people are starting to say, like, oh, we bought 2 super attacking wingbacks, which is true. But, like, Kirkez is a solid defender.
Yeah.
Like, so even at that time, I was like, okay, well, when you have Frimpong, you should probably go for somebody a little bit more solid than Kirkez. Like, maybe you want to invert into a back 3 at times while Frimpong goes up. And I was like, at the same time, like, you look at Kirkez's tackling ability and like, okay, he is a solid defender, and you have the going forward. But on top of that, another thing I said is like, I really thought you guys needed another midfielder.
Let's move on. I think we can talk about Liverpool all podcast long, but let's move on. We have a lot of topics to cover. So,
am I done being roasted?
No, I mean,
now we're gonna do a whole separate episode on Liverpool and their struggles.
I mean, just my last thing is like, I think, the fullbacks and I think getting another midfielder probably would have made you guys at least compete. But I mean,
hey man, we're we're in for a struggle. I don't know if we want to cover Salah or not, but um,
Let's
I'll say
let's 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 do a short.
yeah.
Is
I'll just do
Salah
something
crash
short.
out
So
valid or just over the board?
I'll put it this way: if someone, I can see it going two ways. Either the board, whoever Liverpool as a club, were thinking, okay, he's not. They probably in the summer thought two ways. They were like, okay, they gave him the contract and they said
I think we lost your voice.
keep him for another season, or he doesn't perform well and we'll get rid of him. I think what's happening is they're going route two, where they're trying to make a situation where he's not performing, so they're like, all right, let's happy, create some unrest, and then we can kind of like nicely part ways. Like it'll make sense, like in the
But it doesn't make sense as a business wise. Let's say if I want to be a buyer of a Salah,
yeah. But
if I
the
if I,
problem
if I
is,
see there is a problem between Liverpool and Salah, I'm not gonna go in the negotiation table and be like, hey, I want to pay a big bucks.
but there's a catch here. Number one is he's never gonna ask for a transfer because he doesn't want to give up his loyalty bonus. His loyalty bonus is insane, so he's not going to give that up. And then on the other side, Saudi is the one that's going to buy, and they really want him. Bringing him to Saudi, I think, for that league would be bigger than for the league itself, like within the league for Saudi, not overall worldwide, would be bigger than the presence of Ronaldo, I think. Not worldwide.
Watch your back. Ronaldo boys are coming.
I think I get what you're saying, like, because
Like-
in a way it's kind of like a match made in heaven in a way.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
but-
Not just like a big name. Like, sure,
Right.
Ronaldo's one of the biggest names in the world, but that's more for like overall media attention. Salah
Yeah.
would just be like for the young boys and girls that can relate to him and who are in Saudi, wherever you want to say in the Arab world. They'll really be able to look up to him. But
Maybe it would be like that, but you know that Christmas tree post, I don't know. We'll see.
ever
Nah.
since then, man, it's been downhill.
Yeah, but I
Um,
think I just want to give my 2 cents on the whole Salah thing really quick because it kind of reminds me of Bruno at United. Is like you just have 3-4 parties that all have different views, and then it's literally like a toxic relationship. You know, it's like you know, three people have 3 different mindsets, but yet everyone's still just stuck trying to make things work. Like
mhm.
you got to cater to a player, a manager, the board, whatever it may be. Like you got to kind of pick one, you know, because like at the end of the day, the best business decision, right? Like maybe Slot presented a plan that was like, okay, Salah's gonna be our main guy, let's keep him, whatever. But it's like if you're going, because if if this system isn't fitting him, and if you're not getting the best out of him, it would have been the smartest decision to sell last year.
I mean, I see why Liverpool kept him because he was
Right.
he was one of the best goal scorer last season. If not, if Liverpool wasn't crashed out at round of 16 or quarterfinal, whatever they did, I think he was one of the candidate for Ballon d'Or. And he had one of the best season ever. So I see why Liverpool kept him, but at the same time, I don't see why we didn't say 3 months. 3 months at the end of the season, like 2 months at the end of the season last year, and then 2 months at the start of the season. What
There-
changed?
there's three parties, and in my opinion, what it is it's the manager, it's the system, and the player themselves. So manager and system kind of get confused for one thing. I don't think that's true because so you have the manager who won the title with Salah and as Salah as the best player in the team, right, in the squad. Totally makes sense to sign him. How do you give up, you know, like 30, 40 plus, 50 plus GA in a season, record-breaking Premier League season? Won the title. Okay, you want to keep the manager, you want to keep Salah. Perfectly fine. But if that's the case, then the dependent variable has to be the system, right? Because like you can't have all three, like, or the whole way to get all three is to make sure it complements each other. So you decide to keep the man, you decide to keep the player. Why change the system? Like why not? Because Because now what
So I'm saying slide out, baby.
because once you decide you want to keep Salah and Slot, that's perfectly fine. But then why go? I understand there's a fear that he's going to leave next year. I mean, he signed what, 1 year, 2 year contract. So you obviously have to be in the mindset to replace him. But get like a project player, and not just because of Liverpool's style, but like to study off of him to be ready for when he leaves, or just let him play now and then buy someone like Isak next year. I understand.
Yeah.
You can't just decide when you go and get a player. The whole Isak situation was unfolding. It was a market opportunity, and Liverpool decided to just go for it. But now that they've gone for it, like now I guess you have to focus on shifting Salah. Like, so I mean, all the signings Liverpool made on paper, just in general, are really good. But I feel like it didn't make sense getting Ekitike and Isak, though. That's one thing that I just really don't understand. I think it was just something where Liverpool wanted Ekitike, they got him, and then all of a sudden Isak's available. And it's like, oh, you have to go and try to get him. And who knows, maybe next year if Salah gets shifted,
next year he's leaving, bro. Salah out in January, slide out tomorrow.
I honestly
give me Zabi, and Zabi can bring a player, bring a player with him.
Rodrigo.
If we have time to cover, maybe at the end, I just wanted to keep this on your guys' minds, like, because everyone has their opinion on what's going on. Salah, Slot, Carragher has spoken on it. Everybody, the club.
He keeps talking about it.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have to cover this right now. Maybe if we have some time at the end, but I just wanted you to think about like who's right and what are you guys' opinions on all the stuff that has been said.
I don't think anyone is right in this situation. Like everybody, nobody is winning in this situation. Everybody is losing. Somebody is losing their integrity. Somebody losing their legacy. Somebody losing the system. Somebody losing their job. I don't think
That's facts right there. That's a clip right there.
That is true. I
don't think there is a winner in this. Like
I think
definitely.
I think the problem started with Slot because of the system. Then Salah didn't perform. Then the board, I think,
you predicted that at the start of the season that Salah not going to be the same from last season.
True, but like scoring, like not this bad. Like he's been bad. Like when he got benched, I was happy. Usually I shouldn't be happy, but when he got benched, I was like, finally we got someone else to like play some defense. But yeah, I think the board may have said something which caused Slot to like bench him for 3 games straight, given he came on for a bit against West Ham or something. And then Salah got upset, and then I think Slot is just like he just wants to keep his job, and I think the real battle is between the board and Salah, in my opinion.
Money moves.
Yeah. I think it's, in my opinion, it's the battle is between Slot and Salah, and the board is kind of like,
what to do?
Like they're gonna try to pick, because I mean, at the end of the day, like, yes, there are situations where if you're not winning football matches to keep your job, you gotta change something. But we know Slot is pretty stubborn. Like you got no disrespect intended. You guys lost a lot of games. Like he could have changed it at any point. He chose to go this long because he was. Managers are stubborn. They want to show their system's going to work, but eventually it gets to a point where you're like,
something has to give.
This reminds me of another bald fraud, from Netherlands.
Another Dutch bald fraud with a superstar.
Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on from Liverpool.
Yeah, please.
Let's move on from Liverpool. Let's go from one supposedly winner to another. Let's go to Arsenal and Chelsea.
Sure.
Problems in the paradise? Serious? What's going on?
I mean, listen, like I said, I haven't been on OkraTalks in quite a while, so I think the last time was before we were even first. I think it was before, like, everyone was still making second jokes. They still are, but it was before everyone was all
2 points.
Yeah, because in the last 2 weeks, everyone has been saying Arsenal is the best team in the world. Last time I was here, no one was saying Arsenal was the best team in the world. And now, already within the span of 2 games, it's down to we're going to bottle it. So, like I said, it's a long season, man. Like, I didn't even predict us to win. I couldn't have predicted Liverpool being where they are right now. I predicted Chelsea to be better. Palmer got injured. I predicted, I thought City would be a little bit worse. Obviously, Pep Guardiola has them, still in it. Like, man, like we can't really even determine who's really, really in the title race until March, because we won most games now, which is why we look good. And we could easily come up on a bad streak of games and suddenly drop a bunch of points and be like Liverpool. In the first month, everyone's like, "Oh, Liverpool are easily taking it because you guys were killing and coming back from every team. Like you're winning, could not be stopped."
Dark Arts FC.
Yeah, like it happens. So for me, I think we weathered the storm pretty well. I mean, I wasn't really happy about the draw against Sunderland. I mean, last minute goal. It was it just seems so savable, but you got to whatever. It's a draw. Tough game away, even though they just got promoted. They're a good team. And then we hammer Spurs 4-1. That was hilarious. Especially with all the context as a hat trick and whatnot. And then we go and dismantle Bayern. I mean, realistically, if you watch that game, like, don't get me wrong, first half, I think that's the game where we had the least possession all season. I was worried first half. We go ahead off a set piece, and then they equalize from a crazy ball in behind by Kimmich. Good takedown from Gnabry. That the youngster Carl putting it away. But then the second half, we completely dominated them. Then we go to Chelsea, who get a red card from Caicedo, and nothing changes in the game at all. You couldn't even tell that we were playing against 10 men. They played out of their minds, and we, kept making little errors, and we just couldn't get it over the line. So it's a long season. I mean, I'm not worried in the sense like, oh, we're definitely losing the league. Oh, we've messed it up. I'm worried in the sense that because, nothing's certain, and I knew that our, good run would come to an end eventually, and obviously now the gap is only 2 points. I also was never in a state of like, oh, we're definitely winning the league. Hell no. So you take each game as it comes. I mean, I think obviously we're still in first. We still have a lead. Who knows when that lead could go away? Who knows if we come back, City come back, however the game goes. But all I know after years of pain in this league is you can never count out a team managed by Pep Guardiola. Regardless of how their squad looks, especially when they have Haaland up front and now Doku and Foden are in form, man. Like,
You know what I want to point out as well? If you look at the top, even the first 13, like between the first 13, the point difference is only 13 points, which is like insane. And in third right now, which is very, very interesting, is Aston Villa. I mean, given that they beat you guys, but like it's crazy, like how they're doing so well. Only 3 points off top.
This is what I mean by like things change so quick. I mean, people wanted Emery sacked, man, after like the first 4 or 5 games of the season because he lost like what? He lost or drew like what 3, 4, 5 games in a row. So like people were, oh, Emery, Villa fall off, and all of a sudden, bam, winning streak, and now they're in fucking third place.
I know things change so fast because in Barca as well, we lost against Madrid 2-1. We should have lost, I don't know, 3-0, 4-0, but it is what it is. We were 4 points behind. We were 5 points behind like 4 games ago, 4 games earlier. Now we are 4 points ahead of them.
Yeah. I think this is one of the crazier seasons I've seen. Like, it's been pretty competitive, at least in Premier League and La Liga as well.
Because none of the teams are dominating. They're winning like once a week, and then they go and lose points to another.
Dude,
so
it's the Premier League. Like a lot of people point to this, and whoever does end up lifting the trophy, I don't think it's guaranteed they're getting 90 plus points this season. They might win it at like 82, 83, and a lot of people might look at that, compare them to like Centurions, like, oh, Premier League is getting worse. It's shit. You got like shit teams beating better teams, whatever it may be, or teams that aren't as big. But if anything, I think that just shows how much more competitive it is right now.
I think other teams are getting better, and also there's new systems in place of play that we've never seen before. Like the way Sunderland play, the way Crystal Palace play. You've never really seen that kind of style before.
Also, it shows how much money has to do it. Like, right, any
Yeah,
teams in Premier League can buy any players. Like, any team in the Premier League can come in and drop 50 million for a decent midfielders. So who are
yeah,
you
like
competing against? Like, it's a,
Sunderland did pretty good. I mean, they spent quite a lot, but like they did good business, and now they're top
yeah. I
10.
don't know
They're
if you
ahead of
guys
us.
if you guys remember or not. I said 20. The team that just got promoted got the more money than the La Liga winners did last
Yeah,
season.
that's crazy.
So it's crazy how much money has to do on all of it. And I hate it, but it is what it is. There is nothing you and I can do about it. But
Yeah.
football is the business these days.
I mean, yeah, that's just. I think the Premier League will eventually there'll be its time where some team or some league outshines. I mean, if you think about it, like the Dutch league and Serie A were like the monsters back in like 90s, 80s, early 2000s. Bro, the Brazilian league is not even a European league. Like back in like 40s, 50s, 60s, they were like the best league in the world. Obviously, the Prem was kind of in the right time and place to get all those cash injections. But even with all that money, like in the 2010s, two guys single-handedly made La Liga the best team, the best league in the world for like a good part of a decade. Messi, Ronaldo, Barca, Madrid. So I think like football comes in cycles. Like things rise, things fall. I think we'll eventually see. I mean, it's very hard to imagine a future because, like you said, Prem has so much money. Like I saw something like Bournemouth, Brighton, or I forget who it was. They spent more than like Villarreal, who's like what third in La Liga right now. So like it's
Villarreal had to sell the best player because they couldn't register their they couldn't even register enough players to go on a season. They
That's
couldn't
the
even
guy that
register.
went to Crystal Palace, right? The
Yep.
Pino, right?
Yeah,
Yeri Pino or
yeah,
something.
Yermi Pino. They didn't want
Jeremy
to sell
Pino.
him. He was a star, but they had to because they didn't have enough players coming from academy to fill the rosters. So either they had to sell it and bring somebody in like from other teams, or keep him and lose the game.
Mm.
yeah. And look at that, like a player. I mean, I don't know where Villarreal finished last year, but right now they're in third. A player who's on like the third best team in Spain at the current moment is playing in England for what, like the 10th best team based on the table. The fact that they can even afford him and bring him, like, there's so much money in the Premier League, but it's also because of that money now the quality is off the charts. Like I think overall the Premier League has the best managers, and like you can argue players might be better elsewhere here and there, but I think overall the managers in the Premier League are the best in the world, and that includes even Slot. Like even if though his form is bad, like he won a league title.
That's true.
I think he has his moments, but you got Deserby a couple years back. He's gone. Like
Bring
Marco
it back.
Silva, Glasner, Emery, Thomas Frank. Like these aren't even mentioning like Guardiola, Arteta, Slot, Maresca now. Like it's insane.
Yeah. Speaking of, let's switch over to another league which has you know some of the greats um, from last decade, I think. Uh, let's talk about Inter Miami and how they won. Who did they play? Tell us.
So they played against another team from up north, Vancouver. Certain team called Vancouver, and they had a player. I don't know if you guys know him or not. Thomas Muller.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He was talking before the game, be like, hey, I've hunted Messi so many times, and this time it's gonna be the same thing. I have had a good result against Messi and Barcelona, and yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing. Blah 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 blah. Classic Thomas Muller. Nothing against him. It's a classic Thomas Muller,
Yeah.
and it's classic Germany,
Yeah.
German guy. But yeah, game wasn't dominated by Inter Miami. They were just more clinical than Vancouver was, and the quality of Busquets, Rodrigo, Alba, Messi just showed. And I have to give flowers to this guy Allende. I don't know if I don't think you guys know him. He has scored. I think he broke a record of most goals scored in the playoff history.
Oh
I think it
wow.
was like 8 goals, and it was
Damn.
the first goal was own goal, but it was created by him. So his name is Allende. And the Miami was a great team. They played really good up until the final, but the final was crazy. It was crazy. It was like a final, but quality sold, and yeah, they won 3-1. And Messi has become this player who has the most career trophies. Not the big number, just 48 trophies in his career, 35 with Barcelona, and the
That's
rest
insane.
with others. And I think he's the only player to have a most assist in the history of football. So
Damn. Yeah.
not too shabby,
Yeah.
not too
Not too
shabby.
bad.
Yeah, yeah.
And as you call him, Boosie
Busi,
and Alba
Busi.
retired, right?
Yeah, they retire. What a way to retire, man. What a way to retire. I call him Busi because Busquets sounds like biscuits. So
Ah, okay.
I call him
Mm.
Busi. And
And what do you think that sounds like?
Yeah, yeah. Is that really better? Is the question.
hey, in my mind it is. I don't go any other way. For me, it's always gonna be Busi. So Busi and Jordi retired. What a way to retire from a football, winning a trophy final game, and giving Inter Miami this first MLS trophy in the history.
Shouts out David Beckham.
Shout
Yeah.
out indeed.
Yeah.
What a team he has assembled. Now the crazy thing is we have to wait and watch how they're gonna play. And hey, shout out to Mascherano as well. It's his first gig
Coach.
as a head coach. He didn't do good against the youth. He was managing some youth teams, but he wasn't as good. But he made a really good team. He was playing at some point. He was playing like Argentina, like more attacking, defending, more rigid, rather than beautiful football. They were playing effective football. That's how I call it. But yeah,
I can't believe Suarez is still playing.
Yeah.
hey, Suarez big in 2025. He runs like he doesn't even have knees, man. He cannot fold
Yeah,
his leg.
I saw that clip
He,
in of like
Yeah.
pregame.
yeah,
He just injects his knees, yeah.
yeah, but he wasn't available. I think it was because of a red card or
Hmm.
some crazy thing. It's classic Suarez, but yeah, I didn't catch much of him either Miami game this season. I used to in previous seasons, but I didn't catch any of the. I think I watched maybe one before final. I think two before
Hmm.
final, but yeah, final wasn't good, but they won, and no matter what, they won it. So I think I have to give props to the Vancouver though. They played really good. Even though they didn't have a big name players aside of Thomas Muller, they played really good.
Played pretty good.
Given it was in the Miami's the home team, that they had the
Yeah,
crowd on
three
their
one isn't
sides.
bad, yeah, for a final
Yeah,
against those players.
yeah. I think the scoreline was deceiving. It was the best was 2-1
Hmm.
because
Yeah.
the last goal was what last minute when
Um,
Vancouver had
they're just
nothing to
trying to,
lose.
yeah.
Yeah, but yeah,
Yeah.
the correct scoreline would be 2-1, and yeah,
Yeah. It
if
shows you
one, yeah.
how much
And
soccer.
Vancouver was unlucky. I think they struck the post like 3 times in a single play.
Damn. Darwin
So
Nunez. Um, but yeah, it shows you how much soccer is growing in the US and
oh yeah, talking about
just in
soccer.
time.
Yeah,
Just in time.
talking about soccer. I don't know if you guys saw this or not. So during the World Cup group stage draw, Donald Trump wasn't in the house, obviously, because he's one of the president of one of the countries that are hosting the World Cup this summer, and he said we have to call soccer a football and find another name for NFL thing. Eh,
You know what?
Hey,
You know
agreeing
what?
agreeing with Donald Trump wasn't in my bingo card for 2025.
Same here. But yeah, I think we should call football handball.
Yeah,
call
or
handball something else. I don't know.
egg ball or
They
something.
Just
don't even
keeps
play,
getting chained.
but they
Like,
don't even play handball in the U.S., so it doesn't matter.
yeah, 50 sports just have to get their names changed just to make room for.
Handball becomes basketball.
Bas- Basketball is handball too.
No, basketball becomes jump ball.
Jump ball.
I think we can stop that. I don't think
Yeah,
there's any other.
let's move on. I think
We
we can
gotta
go
stop.
on and on. Yeah,
Um,
talking about let's go to let's talking about from Messi to let's go. I think it's fitting to talk about La Liga.
yeah, let's. Barcelona's at the top. Kudos to them, and also kudos to Madrid for dropping points.
Yeah, thank you.
Hopefully, things work out and Xavi Alonso leaves the club and goes to a certain other club he used to play for.
I think, in my opinion, I think he's this close. We have to see how they play against Madrid. I mean, their next game is against City in Champions League.
Yeah, I think the
So
call was if I think was it Marca released something I saw that said if they
yeah, never trust Marca though.
but aren't that the isn't
They
that
are
the
pro
Madrid
Madrid, but they
mouse?
are pro
Oh,
controversy. Yeah,
okay. They're just pro
yeah,
controversy. Okay.
they're pro
But
controversy.
in my
This
opinion,
is my
if they
headline.
lose to City, I think it might be it.
I don't think losing to City would be that bad, but the manner they would lose, I think that could trigger. That could
Mm.
trigger it. Say if they get humiliated like 3-0 or 4-0 or 5-0 or whatever the scoreline would be. I
Is
think
it in Etihad or San Bernabeu?
I think it's Bonneville, but let me check.
Yeah, I think if they lose, regardless, I think it's going to be a
Yeah,
sacking, given how they treat their managers.
yeah, it's on Madrid.
Their situation kind of reminds me of Liverpool's too, because I think with both teams it's a problem of the players, not necessarily the manager. Like, I'm not saying this slot is gonna go on and win everything or become better than the club, but I do think, like, if you guys had signed a midfielder, that team gets a lot more balance. Maybe Verts, Isaac, everyone can't work together. Maybe it should have been different, but I think
I can talk about Madrid. It's kind of both. It's the players and it's Xavi as well. He doesn't stick to a same system for 2 games in a row.
that's the problem that
It's
comes
like the
with the
opposite
Madrid job.
program.
That's
He
the problem that comes with the Madrid job. You can't imprint anything if you're not winning football matches. You have to.
he keeps changing players and his system every 2 games in a row. Sometimes he'll be playing Arda Güler as a number 10. Sometimes because you can clearly see Arda Güler and Jude Bellingham in the same midfield doesn't work, but he keeps trying it. Sometimes Arda at number 10 and Bellingham right in behind him, and sometimes vice versa. And if you have a midfield of 3, which is not really a midfield. Like you cannot say Arda and Jude is a proper midfield, and you can just throw in Kamavinga, Chouameni as a midfielder, and then call it a day. Like other teams gonna dominate you in a midfield like that, and then you have. And because of the injuries with Carvajal and Trent and Juan Garcia just being Juan Garcia, Fran Garcia, whatever his name is, just being shit, you have to play Valverde as a right back.
Yeah, I think Arda doesn't really fit into a. I think he's more. I would play him more as like either a false 9 or like somewhere up on the front 3. I don't think he's really at this point good enough for
He was
midfield.
playing good. He was playing good until
He's not physical enough. I
he
don't
was
think
he was playing good. He wouldn't need physicality in La Liga though. That's the thing.
that's true. Yeah,
He was playing good until Madrid was playing 4-4-3. But now they started playing with 4-4-2 with Vini and Mbappe up top, and he's lost.
yeah. I mean, also like having Vinny and Mbappe as
Up
a
top,
2
yeah.
striker system does not make sense.
That's their
And-
number one issue in my
And
opinion.
then they're not even a striker. They keep so this is the problem with them. Carreras, the left back, have a ball on the left side. He's ready to pass. He look up. There is nobody in the box. Vini and Mbappe are both outside the box. There are 5 defenders lined up, and there is nobody to pass to. And Xabi doesn't bring Gonzalo Garcia, the player that outsigned everyone in the Club World Cup. I think he has like what 6 goals.
Hmm.
He doesn't bring him on until 89 minutes,
It's like the
and when they're
Chiesa of their
losing.
team. He's
Yeah,
yeah.
but
Yeah, there's a lot of parallels here. I think yeah.
even yesterday, I think he brought him a little early, but Carreras had the ball and he tried to pass it, and he was outside the box with Mbappe right next to him.
Let's do a quick prediction. What if we swapped Slot and Xavi? Do you think what do you think would happen to each team?
Mm.
Like Slot goes to Madrid, Xavi comes to Liverpool.
I see no difference.
You think it would stay the same?
I think it's like a meme with the Spider-Man, so 2 fingers pointing at each other.
Well, are we talking about just like for the rest of the season, like from January to June, no sign?
Yeah, yeah, just as it is.
For me, because obviously when it comes to a team winning, there's a lot of different factors. But when you boil down to a manager and what makes a manager good, to me, the number 2 most important things are tactics and man management,
Mhm.
right? Like all the other stuff like scouting, signings, this, that's all like part of it, but it's like just strictly. And I think if you want to look at tactics and man management, I think Xabi Alonso is just better in both aspects to Slot. And I think at Liverpool, I
You
think he would
think
be
so? There has been a rumor, like frequent times, that he has lost the dressing room.
But that's the
there is a breakage between Mbappe's side and Vini's side, and Bellingham and
yeah.
ran in between.
I think that's more of a,
well,
that's
that
more of
just
an issue for Madrid. Like I think
yeah.
no matter who goes to Madrid, there's always going to be an issue of between like the stars because
That
they just have too many of them.
bro, that's exactly why I think Slot would be more likely to fail at Madrid and Xavi would be more likely to succeed at Liverpool, because I feel like Liverpool would give him a little bit of time, maybe sign
And I
someone.
think the culture is better at
Different,
Liverpool
yeah.
than yeah.
Yeah,
Aside from Salah, I think
yeah.
I
Oh,
think most
that's
players will keep their heads down and you know keep things private most of
I
the time.
think
As a culture, where I think it's more comparable Liverpool with Barcelona, because that's what the trend said. So I'm going with trend. But as a culture wise, I think it's
Yeah, that makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah.
because I think Xabi Alonso, especially having that credit of being a former player, he did go invincible. He did win. He did break Bayern's 10-year streak of winning, like all that. I think they're both solid managers. I think Slots just got to a point where the signings were a little wrong, and he refused to change for a while. Plus, Salah's ego thrown in the equation. But you give Xavi some time in a midfielder, and I think he'll get more out of that Liverpool squad. I don't think as long as Jude also is a player that has an ego, but at least he's a different position to Vinny and Mbappe. As long as both Vinny and Mbappe are at Madrid, it doesn't matter who's gonna go there, bro. No one
Yeah.
succeeds. You gotta
Okay.
pick one.
Question. So I want to go back to like Salah for 1 second. Do you think let's forget about all other parties. Do you think what he did was smart for him? Forget everyone else.
No.
Do you think it was smart for him?
100%.
You think so? Because all right, put it this way. What does he gain from saying this though? He either
I'll tell you. I'll
okay.
tell you, right? Because Salah, I'm sure he's a good guy on the inside. He seems like he has a good personality, but everyone is right about what they were saying. Like the comparison he was making to Kane and certain players getting more grace, meanwhile Salah's getting criticized. Like think about what he's done for Liverpool. He gets criticized. I'd be pissed too. Granted, I don't agree that he should come out and say these things about his manager. That's not everyone's right and wrong, every party. But why it's smart for him is there's one of two things that happens. If he stays and Slot goes, which
Mhm.
means something
Yeah, new manager, yeah.
you potentially get a new manager in, you potentially get the chance to revive your career, you get to stay at a club that I do feel like he wants to stay at, and he gets to see out that massive contract, and he gets to play at the highest level of football. If they decide to slide with Slot, they'll kick him out, and he gets to go get a bag at Saudi and retire comfortably. It's a win-win for him either way. Like there's risk to it. Like you get a new manager, still be ass, and all of a sudden Saudi's not gonna want to pay him as much. But I feel like with the whole fact that he's Muslim and Saudi really want that kind of Ronaldo type of, it would be like another Benzema, going. They have so much money and they want something, like they're going to still give him a decent amount regardless. So I think regardless of the risk, he's always going to be Egypt's best player until he's like, actually washed and has to retire. He's always going to, be first name on the team sheet for them behind El Neni, of course. No, I'm just kidding. But so he's always going to have that. So it's either money or glory, and he gets both either way is the way I see it. And he's very smart to come out with these comments. And I do agree with Carragher in the sense that he did this exactly at the same time last year.
Yeah, for
get
his
that
contract. Yeah.
And,
He plans it out. Him and his agent, I think. But he's not playing tomorrow, so
yeah.
which sucks because now we have a team of 15.
Right. What was your opinion on this?
I don't think he should have said that. I think he could have just said like, I'm not happy. That's it. He didn't have to say like, oh, my relationship with the manager broke down. Like people want me out. Like that's some crazy stuff to say about your club. Like I think the club will suffer overall. Like he might be fine, but the club, not the board, not the manager specifically, just the club in general, and the other players are going to suffer because of him. Like there's unnecessary like
Drama.
problems. Yeah.
And look at the sponsorship point of view. Like, what sponsor is gonna want to be associated with this kind of drama? Like your best team, the high end player is talking about, hey, they have thrown me under the bus. The blah 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 blah. At one point, I had a good relationship. All of a sudden, I don't.
If he's gonna get sponsored by a bus company, Greyhound, baby.
Yeah, just
Greyhound sponsorship.
Just say it like, hey, I've been. They thrown me under the Michelin tire bus or something.
Yeah.
I do feel for Salah because if you look at like who he's been closest to at Liverpool throughout the years, like obviously, Firmino and Mane, I know that his relationship with Mane apparently turned sour towards the end, but at least for a while it looked fine. Front three, they have to have good chemistry if they want to win things. Firmino left, and then, Jota obviously, unfortunately, passed away. And then you have, Van Dijk and Alisson are probably the only players in the squad that he's really relatively comfortable with.
I want to put one thing. So
Trent also leaving.
Compare how Salah is acting to Robertson, because they're in the same position, essentially. They're both like good players. Neither of them, or like I guess Robertson hasn't played more often than Salah hasn't played, and he's fine with it. He's still the captain of Scotland. He's still doing great there. And yeah, I don't know. Like I think he should have just conducted himself like Robertson has. Like don't air your dirty laundry outside. Which it is what it is. It's what you get with a star player, I guess. Yeah, I guess that was a good hour for our episode back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we didn't get to cover the World Cup stuff, but we'll do
I think we'll do a 30-minute quick episode.
Recap of that.
Yeah. I think what we can do is make it maybe a draw. Who goes out?
Oh, like
the group stages and stuff.
Do predictions.
Yeah, predictions. But this was a good episode. Let's wrap it up.
Also, I would like to say to our viewers, if anyone would like to be a sponsor for OkraTalks going live at any World Cup games, feel free. We're open to receiving some tickets. Yeah, any game will do.
I swear we'll go around the stadium. We'll strip on the field. We'll yell out your.
Hey yo!
I don't know
Just yes. He said it. Don't quote on us.
We'll yell your brand from the rooftops of the stadium. We'll do it. We'll do what we gotta do.
Yeah, we'll do that. And we
That
get a
would-
banner.
Well, I'll do a backflip for you guys too
Yeah.
at the stadium
The backflip on the big screen on the
on the
billboard.
big screen. Backflip on big screen. If we get, let's see, if we get 10,000 subscribers, I'll do that.
Awesome.
Opening match. I'll do it.
Please reach out to OkraTalks for all your business inquiries, please. We want to go watch some games, man.
Yeah, but yeah, with that, let's
Let's
end
wrap
our
it up.
episode. Yeah, cool. OkraTalks out.
Okay, stop.